up. Girl,
There you are.
Lord help me. I'm sorry. I kept trying to find the email with the Zoom link and I couldn't find it.
I
I'm
should
so
probably
sorry.
just text it to you.
Yes, that would be a lot easier. My emails get flooded, so I have to play a game of search. So ignore the one I just sent you.
Yeah, let me ask you this. How many, because I was talking to my friend about this the other day. How many emails are in your inbox? I'm at 26,000.
Yes. Hold please. It depends on which inbox because I've got several. Well, in my at Hannah Dasher is 10,315. At my other email, it's 49,220. Anyway,
Wow.
but that's not counting HD assistant, the tour manager one. I mean, it's all whatever.
And now,
Anyway, but I'm so tickled you're making time for me, little mama. Let me think of a better one.
No, you're good.
All the way from Mount Juliet, honey. Have you seen the Ward Gunther has made some t-shirts that say I climb Mount Juliet?
No, I'll have to check that out. I did get the hat. And then I realized, well, I'm not born here, so it says I'm born here, but I
Where
like
are you
the style
born?
of it. Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, that's beautiful out there, girl.
It is. It's gorgeous. Too hot though.
Hotter than two hells. Yes, it is. I'm in the middle of filming a little thing with cornbread and is my hair falling apart? Are we okay?
No, it
here?
looks great. And now, okay, we got to start there. Cornbread Cowboy. Okay, first of all, I'm a fan of yours. I'm also a fan of Cornbread Cowboy. How did that? It seems natural, like you guys should be together, collaborate and everything. But how did that happen?
So he followed me on TikTok. We both kept up with one another on TikTok, and he started, he slid up into my DMs, and but we just figured that a collab would be great since we're both obviously from the same era, as far as our home and our wardrobe goes, and kind of the same clientele. And I thought it would be cool if we, a la the Coyote and the Roadrunner, had a little bit of a love saga, a little cat and mouse chase going on. It would be cool. So I don't want to spoil all the fun or all the things to come. But anyway, we just thought it'd be great to kind of keep a little series going and get people involved.
I love the reference to like Conway and Loretta backstage walking in. That was cute.
Yes, girl. Yes. We got the same taste in music. And honestly, there's so much unwholesome stuff on the internet right now. We just figured, why not take people to a nostalgic, hee-haw era of a place, and Bud and Sissy or whatnot. Kind of like when our parents fell in love, basically.
So I find it interesting how many things we have in common. So
yes, girl.
I didn't realize you're originally from Savannah, Georgia. My first on-air radio gig was in Savannah, Georgia at WCHY. Yeah, no longer a station, but where in Georgia did you actually live, in Savannah or the outskirts?
I was born in Savannah. I was raised 20 miles north of there. So in a little town called Springfield, Georgia, Effingham County.
Yeah. Okay, I lived in Hinesville.
Girl, Lord, the home of the Dixie Mafia.
That's right. Not much there, but I think one Mexican restaurant and maybe a Walmart. That was about it.
That's a good old military town.
Baldino's. That's right. Baldino's was there.
Oh, bless it. Well, please don't judge all of Georgia by.
Oh, I loved it. It was coming from Arizona and moving there. It was night and day, slower pace. I didn't understand when people would call up and ask me a question. I'd say, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't understand. They'd be like, ma'am. And I didn't understand ma'am meant like basically like, oh, what are you saying? But they just said ma'am when they didn't understand me.
Like,
ma'am.
Yeah. Repeat yourself.
You also have a twin.
I do.
And are you guys
sassy?
Do you dress the same? Do you act the same?
No, heavens no.
Opposites?
Correct. We are mirror twins, I believe is the medical term for that. But like I'm left-handed, she's right-handed. She's got perky double D's. I bought mine. Hers are natural.
Right.
Curly hair, straight hair, green eyes, brown eyes. We couldn't be more night and day. She's got a lot of personality. She works for our dad and sells insurance for him. She also flips houses, and she's very, very active in civics and things like that. But the life of the party, I would say. She does a really, really great Cher impersonation when she's intoxicated, and a really good Naomi Judd impersonation as well when she's under the influence. R.I.P. girl. But
Right.
she's great.
That's fantastic. I love that. So you have a new song out. You also have one of our friends in the video, Leah Turner.
Yes, honey. Yes, crying all the way to the bank. I called her up. Leah was on the same record label as I was. She was a few years ahead of me, and was one of the few women here in town that befriended me and reached out to me and just encouraged me genuinely. You don't get that a lot between women, and so I just knew that I could trust her, and I just love her to pieces. I'd go to war for her, and I know she did that for me. But I've always looked up to her, and she's just been so kind and genuine. You will not find a kinder soul than Leah Turner. And so I figured the blonde would be a good contrast to my brunette in the crying all the way to the bank video.
And that was such a fun video. It really was. But when you filmed it, how did you have to talk the bank and let them know what's going on, and set it all
they're
up?
so good to me, Mr. Kenny and them over there at Regions. I love them. I've got family at a couple locations here in town, so no, they knew exactly what I was doing, and they got a big kick out of it. A few of them sat in the lobby with their arms folded, and watched. And my buddy Zach Knudsen filmed that for me. He's so great, and I just had a little vision board typed up of exactly what I wanted, and God provided all the resources. Literally, I mean, everything I needed was just available and there. And we used the same yellow truck that I used in my shoes video. And yeah, it was just great. My buddy Brady, his beautiful farm up in Ashland City. So yes, I thought it was funny. It's fun. It went viral on TikTok, girl.
I know. Well, of course it did. It's Hannah Dam Dasher. Of course it's going to. And I love the fact that you stay true to yourself. Not a lot of artists will sit there and be like, this is what I envision. This is what I want it to sound like. This is my look, and I'm country, and there's nothing wrong with being country, by the way. I love the fact that you have that passion, the hee-haw. My dad and Buck Owens were best friends growing up. So my dad was there.
Stories I've heard the stories I need to hear.
Oh, let me tell you. And he played with Merle. And
really?
Yeah, he was from the Bakersfield sound, but my dad didn't like being on the road, so he went into radio. He was in country radio and ran a famous station in Phoenix that Buck owned for years. Well, bought, and then had my dad run it. But yeah, my dad and him were best friends. So when I was growing up, I looked like a boy, and my dream was to be a hee-haw honey because I'm like, they look great.
Honey, you are beautiful, Kris. You're beautiful. What years did your daddy travel with Merle? What years do you remember about?
Well, so he didn't travel with him because it was actually in Bakersfield. So this is right before Buck hit it big. And I'd have to ask my mom because yes, and she would tell you everything. But he used to tease with my dad, like, he would be playing, I think it was at Lake Isabel, and my dad was playing at the Buckboard or the Blackboard. That's what it was, a famous honky tonk in Bakersfield, or the Lucky Spot. And Merle would come over and sit in with his band, and my dad would pay him $25.
Wow.
He was in between gigs, and he'd always tease later, like, remember when you used to pay me $25? Well, the price has gone up a little bit.
Is this before Merle stole Bonnie from Buck?
Yes, it was.
Bonnie, my Lord.
The story she could tell, man.
Oh, I can only imagine. I mean, I'm a big country music historian. I'm a big rock and roll historian, but I've always said, you can't I wouldn't go into seminary if I didn't know my Bible. So, the same goes for country music to me. I feel like in order to build upon it and to take it out, to branch it out there, like my song, The Tree says, I really feel like you've got to be rooted in it, at least to know where it's come from, and in order to take it further, at least in my opinion. But I think there's a way to reach multiple audiences that way too. Like some of the top comments that I read on my TikTok, and I try to read them all when I can, but wow, I don't like country music, but I love this, or wow, I don't listen to country music anymore, but I love this. And so I feel like there's a way to unite people with the old and the new.
Tell me about your experience on TikTok. Obviously, you're very well known on TikTok. Is it, when you go out in Nashville, is it crazy because random people just come up to you
But
and,
not just Nashville. Well, I did have a
yeah, I
crier
guess not.
in Nashville last week at Honky Tonk at the Legion. You know, I like to go honky tonk two-stepping, and
Yeah.
I did have a little girl that cried. I have some criers, which is really sweet. People feel like they're meeting Loretta Lynn or something, which is beyond me. But it's humbling to know that that many eyes are on you, that you've got a platform there, and it's really caused me to clean up my act. I mean, yes, you know, I mean, I still smoke a lot of Willie's Reserve, and you know, and I'm a fine line between Saturday night and Sunday morning. But honestly, that's one of the reasons I'm releasing this next song, "Ugly Houses." It's a true story about how imperfect we are, and you know, how I kind of had to surrender in order to allow some renovation to happen, if you will, you know, to become the best version of myself. And I'm a work in progress.
Well, I think we all are. What
But with that many, you know, but with a platform and with that many eyes on you, because I've got little girls that come to my show, and I'm still singing "I'm gonna whoop your redneck ass," you know, because ass is in the Bible.
Right,
But
yes.
but there's you know, I've got 14 to, you know, the 50-year-old there. So again, I just you know, I want to make sure that I'm representing the genre that I love, and the songs and the songwriters and the team that I represent, you know, in the best light possible. So
Who would you say is one of your favorites?
Of
Is it
all time?
Loretta? Yeah.
Songwriters, you mean?
Songwriters, singers.
Alan Jackson, for sure. Eric Church
Yes.
was had a huge influence on me as a songwriter. I was in college when that Chief album came out. I was like a freshman or so in college, or sophomore, and my buddy was like, "You're going to dig this guy." And it literally gave me hope in country music again, because I mean, I love Jason Aldean's stuff that he was putting out, and I love the Randy Houser, Anything Goes, or Everything Goes, and you know, Anything's Gone. I messed that title up, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you know, Jamie Johnson. I've always kind of leaned, and you know, those guys really helped to turn me back onto country music, and to kind of, you know, to show me that, hey, I think I could do this too. I think I could write music.
You
Because
definitely can do it. You are doing it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if Sony still believes in me. Thank you, Lord, my good old publishing company.
Well, I do want to say that I watched one of the videos. So take me back to the moment you're on stage, Chase Rice is next to you, and Ricky Skaggs is next to you.
Lord.
And, now, did Ricky get nervous when you were saying a couple words? Because it was funny, because Chase Rice is all into it, but that's Chase Rice, you know, and then you look over at Ricky Skaggs, and I didn't know if he was praying for you or just playing along.
We talked about our faith a little bit backstage, and his grand youngins, and you know, it was funny. I told him that his wife Sharon came through Bass Pro Shops when I was working there when I first moved to town. She and Amy Grant came in to buy a boat from me one day, and it's just it was really full circle for me, and here I am. Of course, I mean, I've had another moment with them in the past, but he was super complimentary of me and of my guitar playing, of all things, because I mean, I feel like I sound like a sick cat when I'm playing the slide or whatnot, but he was very complimentary, and it meant a lot to have somebody of his caliber recognize my talent. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah, I love him. I love also his wife, you know, she was with the Whites. So I don't know if I don't know if she still sings anymore. You'd probably
They do. Yep. And her dad and her sister, the Whites, they still, yes. You can catch them on the Opry every now and then. I caught them when they inducted the Isaacs a few months ago into the Opry. They, my Lord, they brought the house down.
Oh, I bet. So you have a new album coming out in a couple months. What is it that you want to, I mean, you've done everything on TikTok. And by the way, I say that very complimentary, because it's like, for a country artist, you nailed it. And it was fascinating to see. I guess in 2020, you decided to take a break, and then you went to TikTok. And I mean, man, girl, talk about it, ahead of the curve and finding your niche and everything. That's what made you decide to take a break. Were you just kind of like,
well, I've never really taken a break. I just decided to build a platform. You know, the country shut down.
Yeah.
Quarantine in March of 2020. And I thought, well, hell, mama needs a stage. So I I heard all of my friends complaining about how much money they were spending each month on their grocery bill. We were all just,
Yeah.
of course, I mean, now it's just as bad. But anyway, and I just thought, okay, well, the country's divided right now. We're arguing over this and that, but I bet we can all agree on chocolate pound cake. I bet we can all agree on deviled eggs, fried chicken. And so I figured, what a better way to showcase my personality, to slip in a little bit of country music, a little bit of singing in each episode. And so that's what I did. And I figured I could reach a bigger audience that way, as opposed to just doing the music,
Yeah, you did it. And that's when you started Stand By Your Pan.
Yes, girl, stand by your pan. It's a little country. I'm sorry, my little my do-rag's going down.
No.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, I started Stand By Your Pan, just a comedy infused slash country music infused cooking show. And my kitchen, of course, pays homage to my grandmothers and my great aunts, and I just love avocado green and harvest gold. And my grandmother's taught me how to cook, and one of them still with me, and one of them isn't. And so it's just kind of my way to connect with them when I'm in the kitchen cooking.
So I love cooking. I love the one thing I really love about and appreciate about your TikTok is you get straight to the point. You're like, this is what you need. You do it quick. It's entertaining. It's fun. I just learned, I've been trying to, I have my gravy down, but my biscuits,
yes, girl.
my biscuits were turning out like pucks, like hockey pucks. And I couldn't figure out, I finally found the key, and it was shredding my butter and putting it in the ice.
Frozen butter
in the freezer. Yes. I never knew. I'm like, that's what I needed. And then of course, cooking it the most unhealthy way in the bacon grease and butter and everything.
Yes. I use lard. I swear by lard.
Oh,
but
wow.
I mean, don't tell my trainer, but I was craving my biscuits the other day, and I actually made a small batch. I'm trying to come up with a way to freeze them so I could package them and freeze them and make some money off of them. But I've got to get a cookbook out before I do that. That's going to come later this year.
Oh, wait, you are.
An album and a cookbook in 1 year. Am I crazy or am I crazy?
No, you're smart. That is fantastic.
So
oh my gosh.
The record comes out. And go ahead.
No, are you going to go do a cookbook tour?
That is the plan. I've got a meeting about it next week. We're in the early stages, but I've already been recording my recipes and things like that. And I want to offer some options to people, and some get your man option and some keep your man options. And anyway, but I think that I'm looking at a cookbook right here that's kind of an inspo. A buddy of mine just got it for me. It's Hey Good Cooking. It's Hank Jr.
Oh yeah.
So some of his titles are Entertainer of the Year Sandwich.
Oh, there you go.
And I know it's so great. So he incorporated a lot of his song titles, Filet Gumbo, things like that.
Oh,
but hell, everything. I mean, Loretta Lynn cooked, Patsy Cline cooked, Tammy Wynette. I mean, they all cooked. And I Merle Haggard, what did he say back when a woman could still cook and still would?
And still would, yeah. Before
girl, that's why
ovens.
I wear big collared shirts and listen to I listen to a lot of things, but I've always been drawn to just certain things of the past, and I've always felt this obligation to carry some of it forward, like handwritten thank you letters or the pedal steel guitar.
I love the pedal steel guitar, which is not easy to play by any means.
Takes 25 years, they say, to master it, but you come see us live. You'll love Stove Nelson. He's so good. Tyler Hall, Stove Nelson, they're great.
Now, where do you get your clothes? I have to ask, because I love everything retro. I love your kitchen. Is that really your kitchen?
Yes, hey, it's my little. I got my swinging doors right here. Now, I've been washing some of my stage clothes, girl. But where did I get my clothes? This actually belonged to Jake Owen. Now, granted, we had it darted. We have the same stylist.
Okay.
Jennifer Kemp. She is fabulous. But that was his, and of course, we had it darted, and we added a little zhuzh, as she said, to it. And I just love retro tops. I like retro tops, and I try to customize them to me. I was a little girl. I saw a rerun of Vessel Whorehouse in Texas. Everyone thinks I'm a huge Dolly fan, but honestly, what I discovered Dolly through Burt Reynolds, because I'm a big Burt fan, and Vessel Whorehouse in Texas, and I saw her wardrobe in that movie, and I thought, she's chunky like me. She's country like me. I mean, the fringe and the tight fitted,
Yes.
the sexy, as a little girl, mother will tell you, I never wanted Little Mermaid underwear. It was always silky panties with a matching house robe and a matching nightgown. Since I was 3 or 4, I've always wanted pretty
Right.
lingerie. And so
Yeah.
I connected with that movie. I was just born a hooch, I reckon, but I
Yeah.
connected with the movie. So
I like your style. I remember my dad actually took me, the radio station was doing a premiere of it. And I'm like, I'm a kid, like probably 6 or 7. You're taking me to, what is the
best
name
of
of
the
this
world.
movie? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I love
He
it.
didn't think, I mean, and granted, Southern Baptist, but I guess he didn't think anything of it. That was different.
Texas,
So
the world, did it?
did you ever, or do you ever go to like any of the retro places here in Nashville?
Oh, girl, they know me by name.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got
Yes,
it.
yes, my little.
There's one over by Opryland that's really cool.
Rob's, yeah, Rob just
Yes.
reopened Smack, and he is great. I got a lot of pieces, and I mean, I collect stuff. I mean, my house is kind of a honky tonk rock and roll museum, if you will. But yeah, I've never wanted to dress like anybody else.
Yeah.
I just knew that one day when I could afford to wear custom retro, if you will, stuff, that I would, and sequins and fringe and a little bit of cleavage, because if the button goes past here, I can't breathe. I feel like I'm in a turtleneck.
Yeah. I agree with you. I'm the same way. So it's nice to have.
You got a rocking body, Kris, girl.
Oh, bless you.
You are gorgeous.
Well, bless you. I have 3 kids, and I had to work. The last one put a lot of weight on me, and it took me a while to get that off. So I blame him.
How old's your youngest?
He just turned. Well, no, he's 13. He'll be 14 this summer. He plays
Wow.
travel baseball, so that's kind of our life, and for Mount Juliet Middle School. But
look out.
Yeah,
doing all the things.
He's a little a doll, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. But I did want to talk about, because I know Lee and I were talking about working out and everything, and she was saying you're really into working out. And what is your go-to workout?
Well, I'm so blessed to get to work out with Wilson and Mebenure. He's a celebrity fitness trainer. He has launched a lifestyle brand called Grit and Hustle. And he's got a nutritionist, because I didn't know a thing about counting macros. My doctor had always told me, count your macros, and that's how you can lose weight. Well, I didn't know how the devil to count macros, but now I know how to count them. And it's just, I try to keep track of what I put in my mouth.
Yeah.
And his workouts, I told Wilson, I said, give me Sheryl Crow arms. And I mean, Kris, within 2 months, I had cuts that I wanted, and my wings are gone. Woo!
Really? Good for
yes,
you.
Girl. Yes. So it has just been, it's the first time that I've worked out with a trainer where I've actually seen results. But y'all hit him up on Instagram, or probably the best way to reach him is actually his Instagram, but Grit and Hustle. Wilson has been such an inspiration to me, and he'll scare you to death if you look at him, but he's really a gentle guy.
I love that. Bo Cephas, you're a big fan. I
Love
always
him.
told my husband, if I could, I would marry that man. He's just everything that screams country music. He's so cool. I'll never forget my brother-in-law. We got a chance to meet him backstage. And my brother-in-law was so nervous, and excuse my French, but he walked up and he's like, I can't believe I'm meeting fucking Hank Jr. And Hank Jr. looks at him and goes, how about that shit, Haas? No, it doesn't miss a beat, wearing his icon hat. Super cool.
He's an icon. Oh, God. You can marry him. I don't want to marry him. I know too much about him, I reckon. But I think he is the shit. He paved his own lane. I mean, under a huge shadow. He had a lot of money growing up, and I think that really, really helped him. I mean, Jerry Lee Lewis taught him how to play the piano. So when you see him live, he'll play the piano, and he'll even play the keyboard with his butt. He's just one of the greatest entertainers of all time. I literally put Hank up there with Mick Jagger.
Yeah. And he's a badass.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's such a badass. He's great. He is he lives the songs that he writes and sings, and he writes many of them, and I love his voice, and it's just that's what my daddy and the older, like my girlfriend's big brothers and all listened to growing up, and it's just kind of the soundtrack of my childhood, and there's just something really nostalgic and really homey and just really wholesome about his music to me.
And how often do you throw out your wigs out the window? Do you do it in each
Good
date
question,
you go to?
honey. Well, so when I don't do a bus gig, like we just bebop down to Georgia for a quick little run. I don't want to waste 10 grand on that. Anyway, so in order to keep the band enthused, anytime we take the Chevy Express, I do a wig drop or a transit like a sprinter. I do a wig drop. So this is a new one. Isn't it beautiful?
I love
Lord.
that.
But yes, I don't believe in littering, but there was a domestic dispute over here in the ghetto near where I live. And hair weave remained on the highway for like a month. It was the funniest thing. And we got the biggest kick out of it anytime me or our family would like pass by. And then when it was gone, I was kind of sad. So I figured I would carry on the tradition. And but I'm having some fans ask me to auction off or to donate some ways because they want to purchase them. So
or make it a scavenger hunt that they can meet you backstage if they find your wig and give them.
Oh, I love that. We should do that.
I think that'd be great because, and then they have to like post like where they found it and everything. I think that could be a whole thing.
I think you're onto something, girl. That'd be amazing. I'd also love to do a wig toss with Lizzo, like a hair toss game. Ha ha.
Yes.
I would like picture us at the in the second floor of an open window of a 2-story building and just dropping hair weave at people who are passing by below us. You know, things like kind of funny.
I think that would be great. Well, I appreciate the time. Thank you so
Honey,
much.
you too. Thank you so much. Thanks for
Excited.
cranking the new music and hearing about what's going on, girl.
Oh, let me tell you, your music is on point. You're doing everything right. I love it. I'm super proud of you. I think that the sky's the limit. I think it's just like the beginning for you.